When keeping it real goes wrong, 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 wrong. For real though, this is when keeping it real goes wrong. Gotta pay homage to the ultimate OG, Dave Chappelle, for the title of this one. And yeah, this will be a quick one. It'll be fun. So strap in. And if you're returning, thank you for returning. And if you're new, welcome to my page, Strictly Business 47. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it. So, middle school, 7th grade. By the end of that year, I was a pretty seasoned smoker. Like, we would go smoke every day, smoke every day after summer school, before summer school. Like, we were just always smoking. And, at that age, people are curious and whatever, and, they want to, some people want to try stuff. Some people hate on shit until they get to high school, and then they act all fucking, down and whatever, but they're hating on you the year before. Happened to me so many times, it's not even funny. So, anyways, there's this kid, and he goes to our middle school, and he has money. And, me and my homie, we're buying dime sacks and, like, maybe a dub, $20. Like, we don't have a lot of money. We're not buying a whole lot of stuff unless somebody's selling. So, somebody that we go to school with, his name's Sean. His name was Sean. Is Sean. He's like, yo, let me come over, like, with you guys. And, like, I don't know. I think he got jealous of, or not jealous, but I think when we would, like, talk at school and we would just laugh about all the shit that would go down after school and we'd be, like, faded or whatever, like, he wanted to take a part of that, which I can't blame him. So he says, I'll come through. I got the money. I'll, just like line it up and I'll buy all the weed and we'll all just smoke. And we're like, all right, cool. And I remember he had like $60. And like back then, to me, that was like a lot to like, especially for weed. And I'm like new to it somewhat, whatever. So like, I'm like, damn, all right. So I remember getting, it was probably the first time that I got like an eighth, like an actual eighth. Oh, I didn't get it, but this fool did. And so I had this pipe, man. It was the coolest fucking pipe. Got it from my hubby because he broke mine. And it was made out of this like cool, like glass, but it was that kind of glass that's like frosted, but it was like camouflage, like camouflage colored. And when you held it up to the light, it had this like purple glow to it. It was really fucking cool. And I just remember having that. So we get to my boy's house, and like this is the place where, like, I've talked about it in the past. His dad worked a lot. We'd just be over there just smoking all day and night, really. So we get over there, and I call my homie up, and he comes, serves us the sack. I can still remember it was MKU, which was Master Kush Ultimate. And I don't know, like weed these days is good and everything. Like this shit is really good, but there's something about old weed, like the OG like weed strains like that. Like weed used to smell like a straight up skunk. Like I'll smell some gassy stuff now and again and whatever these days, but to find something that straight up smells like a skunk, like you really cannot tell if it's a skunk just sprayed or it's your weed. I haven't seen shit like that in decades. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong places. Maybe I'm not looking at all. I don't know. But just I've never came across stuff like this to this day. And there's other people that remember this shit too very clearly. The MKU. Maybe other people do too. Maybe it was bigger than what I think of even. I have no idea. So anyways, we get it. And I have my pipe and we're sitting on the couch and it's me on one side, the guy in the middle, and then to the left of him is my homie whose pad it was that I smoked with all the time. Sean was to the left of me, in between us. So I pack a bowl and we smoke one bowl. Literally one bowl. I mean, I've always, even to this day, like, I'll pack a bowl. Like, I don't know why I see it as like a challenge. I know I don't have to fill it, but I kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe it's my OCD or I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I have to. It's kind of like having all your food on a plate. I feel like I have to eat all that food on my plate instead of like I could go back and get more if I wanted to, you know. So anyways, we smoked the bowl and like, we're chilling and we look over and my boy, he like reaches behind him and he taps me. And he taps me and he's like going like this, like pointing with his eyes. So I look over and I see this dude Sean from our school, and he is fucking like, he looks like he just did a shot of heroin. I swear to God, like this fool, and he's biting his wrist, which I've only seen that one other time, which is kind of like weird now that I think about that. And it was another time where someone was like really like tripping hard off just weed. So I don't know what that's all about, but it's happened more than once that now that I think about it. But he's just like biting his like hand, like just like that, and like, but he's like, I don't know if he was faking it or if that was really going on, because back then people would fake it and like laugh like ha 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 ha, and it was like so obvious that they were just laughing to try to fit in and whatever, and like it was like fake and shit. But with him, his shit seemed legitimate to me. I'm not gonna lie. So he's like all discombobulated and he's just like like drooling all over himself on the couch, you know. So like me and my boy got walk over to where his computer was. He had a computer that would be like right by the side door because he lived upstairs in his apartment. So he had a little porch. People used to go in the parking lots of other apartments and try to look out onto the porch and see if we were smoking out there, if we weren't picking up their calls. And then they would like, if they saw us out there, they would show up at the apartment and be like, yo, what's good? And like try to get in on like the session. Swear to God. So anyways, we're over there and we're like, yo, this was passed out. And then we're like, but we want, like, both of us were like, we want to keep smoking, you know? Like, just because that fool fell asleep, like, we don't want to stop. So we're like, where's it at, you know? Like, where's the weed at? And I don't have it, and my boy doesn't have it. So we, like, kind of like go over and look around the corner on the couch, and we can see that it's like hanging out of this was like pocket basically, like halfway, like you could just tell like he wasn't really trying when he put it away. So like I tell him, like I remember like I saw it, and my homie I was with, he's kind of like a bigger guy. It's the same guy who got on my skateboard and my skateboard shot out and how I got into like the drug game and all that. Like same exact person. So he's just like not exactly the, like he could have done it, But out of the two of us, like, it was probably easier for me to do so. So I got down on my all fours and I straight army crawled because I had to crawl all the way past him, like right in front of his legs, and I had to go all the way to the side of him of where I was sitting in the corner for me to have the angle to shimmy the bag out. And even shimmying the bag out, like I had to move it like kind of like pulling like a crumpled dollar out of a pocket, like flat or something like that. I don't know. Um, so like I'm like pulling it and then pulling it, and then he'll like move, and like it was like some movie shit, honestly. So um, I'm able to, like, I felt like straight 007, fucking 42007 or some shit, and I do my thing and I army crawl and I'm able to get it, and I army crawl back, and I just remember like in my head I'm like dun 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 dun, dun. And I get over to the area where my homeboy was, that like the computer's there and like the table, and like we always used to laugh because, or I would laugh because this fool had a table, but his table was up against a wall, and where you would sit down, his his like school picture was like right there on the wall right there. So like I don't know, it was funny to me. It still is funny to me right now, honestly. I would laugh at like him sitting down at the table, like having like a meal with himself, or like a conversation with himself. Like I don't know, that shit was funny to me. It still is, just thinking about it, of just the way it was set up. But anyways, long story short, we smoked all of that fool's weed. Uh, he literally like eventually like kind of snapped out of it and got picked up. I think someone called him or whatever, and he got picked up. And like, we still went to school and everything, and it never came up. But it was just always a funny thing that like me and my homie kind of had as like a inside joke or something like that. That just the way that all of that went down that day and how funny it was. But there's always those people that they'll say, like, I've came across a couple of them in my day, of they'll say like, oh man, like if you like walk by someone and you smell like weed, oh man, next time you're gonna do that, let me know, dog, let me know. And then you see him and you're about to smoke, and you're like, hey, we're about to go smoke, like, come through. Oh man, I gotta go do this. Oh, I would, but I gotta go do. That happened to me in Yellowstone so many fucking times. Like, there was like one or two people that I actually did smoke with. One dude was from New York, and he was mad cool. But everybody else would be like, oh man, like that cologne smells real good after we just like hotboxed a couple blunts. And then, oh, you gotta let me know next time. You gotta let me know. And there would be some motherfucker from like Missouri. I don't even know. Like, there's people from all over, but like we would see him, and we'd literally be on the way to roll up in the car. Like, you could not be in a better position to just hop in the back of the whip, and there you go. And it was, oh, I gotta go. God, my shift starts in a couple hours. Like, a couple hours, bro? Come on, man. Like, I was getting drunk and I was going to work and showing up with a fucking cigarette on my ear. Like, and it was just always excuses. Even like back in the day, the days that I'm talking about this story, there was a guy, and I'll leave his name out, but he'd be like, I gotta go to soccer practice. And like that became like a running joke, that when we would see him like around school and stuff, we'd be like, I gotta go to soccer practice, dog. I would, but I gotta go to soccer practice. Like, we would always say that shit. So, anyways, I know this maybe turned out a little longer, but hopefully there were a couple funny things along the way. Um, I hope you enjoy the story, and yeah, I'm gonna keep dropping them. So stay tuned and have a good one.